and I thought that was a very interesting question. And its follow up, which I'll talk about later, is contrast my dislike for Gandharva with your love for Asha. Since they are both pieces of in their own way, you can also try to give an objective evaluation of Gandharva since as a character to soothe the Gandharva fans. And I thought these were interesting questions.
忍びじゃなくてジャマイカボーイ不動で育った making noise 四六時中かかってこい It don't matter though Young nigga from Canada Brought from that bullshit and go like a matador いけたら行くわ毎日俺のゴールへかき出す
All right, so the second question, which I think is a good one too. So I'm gonna read it again. Right here. Contrast your dislike for Gandharva with your love for Asha, since they're both pieces in their own way. You can also try to give an objective evaluation of Gandharva as a character to soothe the Gandharva fans, but I would have done that anyways. So the kind of idea and behind this question is that like I don't like Gandhi or Gandharva because I well see I will say this I don't I don't like him because I can't stand him and I wouldn't get along with him. I think he's a baby and I can't stand. I just think he's a loser and he's ugly, right? But it's kind of the thing where it's like they're both kind of bad people who did really underhanded, devious things throughout the story, if you will. And it's like, how could I cheer for Asha and be okay with her? And she's one of my favorite characters, but I constantly demonize and look at Gandharva with like the finger. And I'll tell you exactly why I do that. Gandharva does have one problem that I don't like with him. I think he's a fake nice guy. I don't like people like that. You know how I always say to Sagara kind of miss like, listen, I'm doing what I gotta do and I'm just gonna live in it. This is my truth. And I always say, give me the enemy who's gonna put the gun to my head, than the fake friend who's gonna poison my food over the course of 3 months so I look like I die of natural causes. I like to know my enemy. So if you don't like me, you're doing something devious or underhanded for whatever reason, I'm always gonna respect it more if you're just straight up and honest about it. Older Gandharva, as much as I don't like him and he was tweaking, he was wild, and he needed a fucking hobby. At least he was just like, bro, I don't care about these humans. I'm just destroying them and blah blah blah. It's this fake nice guy thing he be doing now with like Tio. Like, I want to save her, but I can't. Should I? Oh no, she died. Now I'm gonna cry. I'm like, bro, you're such a scumbag. I don't like you. But I've always said this. I've never not said this. I do not think Gandharva is a poorly written character. I think he's well written. I honestly think that like the way that I feel towards him is intentional in a lot of ways. I think for some people, she wanted them to sympathize with his plight, and they want you guys to get into the idea and the mindset of his like redemption story. That's not moving me. And I still think in a lot of ways Shunkintala and Manaka are bozos. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Me and Vince have spoken ad nauseum about why we believe that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Asha, I like it because Asha, she owns it. And when I kind of really think about how she's acted throughout the course of the series, while she did struggle with it and had these moments, she was kind of upfront about her dickheadery. Like, she was not very nice. She's very blunt, very curt, did a lot of underhanded things to get what she wanted, and she was just kind of open and honest about it. She hid what she had to hide in terms because she wanted a certain outcome, but I just respected her like that. The reason why I always like Cigar would just do some snake shit, and she'd be like, whatever, bro. It is what it is. I'm doing this for the resurrection of my king. I don't care how you feel about it. This is my belief. I'm moving with this. It's that fake nice. I don't know. I'm changing Gandharva, and like, his redemption story doesn't move me at all. So that's part of the reason. Second reason is I just think Asha's an infinitely more interesting character. Asha's a special character in my opinion. I can't think of any narrative really that has a character like this or that plays this kind of thematic role. And the closest I could think of is Rachel, but even with the commonalities and overlaps that Asha has with Rachel, I think they're vastly different. I really do. I understand the main things that they both do in their narratives that make people constantly compare them, but I still think they're different, even though they have some similarities. Um, again, Gandharva is a good character. I think Asha is infinitely more interesting. I know Gandharva still has his level of intrigue because of what we need him for the best possible outline of outcome and the best possible universe and whatnot. He's not unimportant. I'm not saying that, but it's like and Asha for me, just speaking for myself, is easier to root for. I don't want to see Lee suffer, but like Asha being like, nah, like I gotta win. We got a winner's mentality, W's only. I can respect that. I can relate. I'm not mad at it. And if people have petty reasons for doing really devious things and bad things, I'm not mad at it either, you know? And I thought the slow burn Ivy drop revealed to Asha's true nature being explicit in the story was masterclass. Like that was such a amazing stretch. Cause I don't know if you guys remember, I was confused. I'm like, is she taking out all the Kubera halves and gaps because every time a Kubera's gone, like the remaining Kubera people with that name gain more power. Maybe she's doing this for like Crime and Punishment had me in a tizzy, just all mixed up. And then I was like, nah, she's helping, and then she's helping Lee's, and she wasn't like, damn, that's crazy. She was for herself. Let's go, let's go. Like Asha was my favorite character for a while. She really was. So Gandharva clan in the mud. They should enjoy the bottom. Facts. Gandhi, a really good daddy for Maruna. No. Garuda absent? Oh, I can't say I like Garuda. I don't know much about him. Asha, being a scumbag is the way. Being a piece of shit is the truth. Gandhi, I'm a flip flopping bozo. Exactly. lying is lit, Clark. Lying is the wave. I think Gandharva's a really good redemption story. It's really well written. I don't have to care. Exactly. That's kind of like in a nutshell. Like I understand it. It makes sense, but like I don't like him. I just don't like him. Manaka took a rock on Harvard who destroys plants and turned him into a boat. She made him worse. I'm a CSL, a certified cigar lover. I'm not mad at that. Rachel, a discount Asha. Ooh, we'll talk about it one day, I promise. Fellow comrade, Asha is a loser. Miles, why? Why is Asha a loser, bro? Oh, cause you're not winning right now. Those live reactions where you were guessing, I was giddy. Facts. Asha the first one. You know, like it was like yeah, it was like I was so wishy washy with it. It's kind of funny because like I was like, anyway, so Team Asha, we here. No, but like I'm not like it's hard for me sometimes whether or not like I think the character is doing good or bad things. If I find the way that they're presented through the narrative and portrayed and written to be very intriguing, it like activates my literature brain. So I've never really seen a character written like Asha. Gandharva, as much as he's a piece of shit, I've seen a lot of characters who just do extremely egregious acts for whether it's years, centuries, and then they get a chance at redemption through like it's not to say that it's not well handled and not well done. It's just not an original character arc, so to speak. And Asha being like, wow, well, Lorraine, I messed up. She lived. She did what she did to me. Now I just don't want anybody to win. If I can't win, no one can win. Suicide bomber type beat. I'm not mad at that. Like I feel that. Like that's human, bro. That's human nature. Like I understand that. Like if I'm not gonna win, I'm at least taking someone with me. You know, like a lot of stories do it. Like, all right, like I can't beat Nappa, but Chaosu, I'm gonna blow myself up. Goodbye, Tien. Like that's just I get it. I feel it. So Asha, in a way, wasn't just playing Lee; she was playing everyone plus the readers. I think I can agree with that. You know, and it's always interesting to have a character that can do that, like play with the dramatic irony of real life, the readers and experience. Because one thing I've always liked about Monogatari's multiple perspectives of stories being told from different people and point of views is that when you get to Kaiki, you can't trust him because he's a con man. So like, there's something that takes place in Hitagi End where it's like it's crazy and it's a really shocking way for it to end. But it's like, what if he just said that to lie to us, the readers, so he can go on and do his own thing, you know? So it's just like, I like that. So, now Asha was actually being moved by Lee. She isn't that strong-hearted. She's a loser. I think like your perspective there and like what you're seeing, I think that makes sense. I don't know if I fully agree. I can see why you would say that, but I think those are the things, because she's so polarizing too. I think that also adds a level of intrigue to her. Like to me, that makes it interesting, her more interesting in that sense, because it's like, how strong is her? How dedicated is she to this cause and this mission? Because you've seen moments where she wavers, and something might kind of restill or reaffirm her belief or her mission. But like, no, I think those are all things that still make her interesting, honestly. Like I was talking about like one of the reasons that Crocodile is so interesting to me in One Piece is because he's a self-proclaimed silver medalist, aka second place, aka a loser. Those type of things to me with characters that cool and raw, I always think is cool. Is intriguing because I think that's real. Even for the most powerful people and people who have amassed all these resources and value or whatever the case is, I do think they have these moments of weakness or at least on their pathway there. They struggled internally and had to do a lot of introspection and leveling up in self growth to get to that level. So, Kaiki is GOAT though, for sure. The leads probably reminded her too much of her first love. It makes it even more amazing to me knowing that too, seeing the extent to which she would go. Yeah, like because I'm a firm believer if you go too far with certain things in life, you have to stick to it. It's kind of like to use two examples of this. I think like I know talk no jutsu is just like it's like a basic thing, but like Naruto being able to talk Nagato out of what happened was complete garbage to me. If you understand from the time that we kind of understood Nagato's upbringing, his pain and his out views on the world and the things that he had done to this moment, and then you want to turn around and be like, believe me, bro, I'll figure it out. Okay, like what? Like that makes no sense. Another one for me was like, I truly believe this. I guess spoilers for anybody. Plug your ears for like 2 minutes if you've not finished Legend of Korra or care about Korra. I just as a side note, my actual my mouse pad is Legend of I almost said Legend of Zelda, Legend of Aang. That's crazy. Avatar, Last Airbender, and Legend of Korra. But Kuvira. I thought when she had gone too far with her unification of the Earth Nation, and when she was willing to quote unquote, like I think this moment comes like, do you think she really loved Batar Jr. or not? But I think when she was willing to sacrifice Batar Jr. and that family, whatever, for her convictions of unifying the Earth Kingdom, I think that's the moment where there's no turning back. I don't think you should be able to be talked out of it at that moment. The slight caveat I have for certain characters like that is if they were always doing these things but never truly had believed in what they were doing. It was like they're like misguided. Then I could understand you wanting to be talked out of it and low key wanting to be stopped. But I do think sometimes you do something. It's like nah. If you're willing to do that, you really believe. You have conviction. You believe in this mission and what you're doing. Keep going. I don't want to hear no one talk you out of it. They have to beat you and capture you for you to stop or kill you. So that's just what I think, though. Nah, show us the real mouse pad, the Opine. I don't got. All I got is this, man. That's all I got, bro. I thought about getting one of those ones with the little thing on it too. I did think about it, but no, I didn't. I didn't need all that. I'm gonna get a body pillow. I'm not kidding. I need a Brilith body pillow. Someone make one. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So that's kind of like to wrap that up. So Asha versus Gandharva. End of the day, if we're just being very transparent, I just like Asha way more. Like that's really it. Just like personally speaking, but I do think she's actually a little more interesting. I think she's better written, and I do believe that her character arc is more original than Gon Havra's. Though his redemption story and the way that he is written in Kubera is not bad at all. So yeah, that's all I got. Shout out to my elite supporters, the Patreon gang, CBL, the Priest of Fire, but especially the Fifth Zen God. Shout out to my Tier 3 patrons, Chris, Cayenne, Sonny Kathapali, Miles, Simi, Shoddy to Your Body, Scobe, Tris, Revenant, Chromizone, and Big Abdel. Your support is greatly appreciated.